just like the direct compression around the end, right? So super, super simple. When you do it though, you want to make sure that you have this flexed. Some people like to do it fingers out like flex hard. Some people do like a hard fist. I usually do fingers. So you have them flex it out hard like that. Yeah, like that. Like they're flexing all the muscles. That way it's expanded the way it will be when they're actually using it, so you don't get too compressive. You want to make sure you're going far enough down to where you're kind of off the edges of the bones, so you try to get on the carpals a little bit, right? And I usually go here. You can kind of angle depending on how far you want to go up, right? So it's kind of like, when we're doing the angle kind of changes as you come down. So the further down onto the hand you get, the more you have to angle it this direction, right? So start there, usually come around, pull tight, cut it, and then you can kind of just walk back as far as you need to. So all you're trying to do is prevent the syndesmosis from breaking up. Usually come up at least 3 high. Some guys like it up pretty far, but that's usually good enough. And then I'll go over it again just to reinforce it, right? That's just real simple. If you're going to do the full wrist, I'll do that first, kind of as my little anchor. And then I'll come here, coming this direction, heading towards the thumb. When you're going to go around the thumb, you want to pinch that like that, so that you don't create a blister in the webbing of the thumb right there, right? And you can come back this way. Now you're coming on the outside of the thumb, and you're coming back this way again. Pinch it, right? Come around. And you can keep going around like that as many times as you want. Usually 2 or 3 is good. And then I'll just kind of re-anchor it. And she'll be good to go, right? Make sure you check it. No holes anywhere. Looks pretty good. I did that pretty loose on her. You can go as tight or as loose as you want. It's just general wrist stability.
Before you do that second part with the thumb, do you always have the syndesmotic support first?
Yeah, I'll usually throw an anchor here, then I'll do around the hand and wrist, and then I'll kind of re-anchor, and then I'll usually walk it up as high as they want it, right? 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4, however many, depending on the size of the wrist and the extent of the injury, right? If you really want to get specific to try to prevent like either flexion or extension, right? You can do this as kind of like your base, and then you can do like a check type deal. Like let's say we really wanted to prevent flexion. So you can come here, and then you can put a little asterisk, right? You put them back a little bit, and do a little asterisk across. Pulling it tight. That way, right? And then I just put it around again over that. Pinch it just to hold it down. And now we have something that's a little bit more specific, holding it out of, or holding it more into extension. If you want to do that way, you can do the same thing on this side, right? If you want to be super specific to either like ulnar or radial deviation, you can do the same thing that way. Sometimes they'll split it, right? So it'll be a little bit smaller because it's kind of a little bit awkward when you're coming on the sides of the wrist, right? But you get the idea, right? You can go specific to any direction you want.
Yeah, just put the check on that side.
Yeah. Just a little bit extra support in that direction, right? If we're going to do thumb, you continue it. You start the thumb basically just like this, okay? So this is like your base. And then if I want to kind of start to walk it up the thumb, you do like a little teardrop type deal. So you do a half, and you come this way. And you could walk around the thumb, so it wasn't long enough. But you can come around the thumb this way. Coming around. Like a teardrop and then connecting them back together, right? You can go specific for any direction you want with this. So if I wanted to hold it more in, right, you can just start coming around this direction, okay? And then you're just going to continue to walk it up. So it would end up looking kind of like this.
So that's just a multi-directional stability that you're doing right now by doing it in different areas.
Well, I wouldn't do it in, I would stick to usually one, right?
One
I was just
direction.
kind of showing you as an example. But you see how you walk, you continue to walk it up, so that you can go up as high as you want. Eventually, you can get the whole thumb kind of covered that way. And then I would go with just a regular roll again and go around doing my hand and wrist again to hold all those little teardrops down. And then she's got a full like thumb support. Making sure when you go around to close it out, make sure you don't have any little holes anywhere, right?